This is Singles Exchange. Let's talk, let's hang. This is Singles Exchange. Singles Exchange.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Joy J. Welcome back to Singles Exchange, a podcast that focuses on conversations, connections, and community. As I said, I am your host, Joy J. And it's been too long. I am so excited to be back with you guys. I have tons of updates, tons to share. But before we hop into all that, you know the drill. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Singles Exchange on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and whatever your podcast streaming platform is. Y'all, it's been so long. I am so happy to be back. A lot has happened since the last podcast episode. We did host our very first murder mystery dinner, and y'all, we had such a good time. I definitely posted some pictures and videos on our social media platforms. So if you want to hear more about how that event went, you can head on over to our Facebook page or to our Instagram page and get some highlights. Like I said, we had a great time. I want to thank everybody who contributed, all of our sponsors, um, all of our staff, our extended staff, and most importantly, the people who participated, whether you participated by coming to the event or whether you donated. We appreciate you. I definitely have heard of some connections being made, and that's what it's all about, getting out, having fun, being safe, and making some connections, making some new friends, and potentially meeting your new boo, because that's what we're here trying to do. So thank you guys for that. Also, we have new merch. New merch is here. I know I talked about it a lot, and y'all probably thought I was lying, but we really were working on it, and it is here. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can see my fancy dancy hoodie. So if you haven't already, go ahead and head to our website and place your order. And you can head on over to www.singles-let's-exchange.com, and I'll put that in the comments so that you can find it as well. But again, if you want to purchase our new merchandise, if you're listening, I'm gonna just give y'all a quick synopsis. It says single AF, but it's also some words behind it. So it's not like we cussing. We're not saying we single as bleep. We saying we single and fine, single and fearless, single and flirting, single and free, single and focused, single and friendly, single and flourishing, and lastly, but certainly not least, single and figuring it out. And I don't know about y'all, but that is me. I'm out here single and I'm just trying to figure things out. So we do offer this particular design in a black t-shirt, a white t-shirt, or a heather gray hoodie. It's the fall time, it's hoodie season, and folks are buying these hoodies like crazy. So don't miss your beat, whether it's for you or whether it's for a friend. You can buy it for somebody, put it up for a birthday gift, for a Christmas gift, or whatever. But yeah, get this single AF gear while it's in stock, because y'all know my mood. Once it's gone, it's gone. And it won't be back for a while. So yeah, again, you can head on over to www.singles-lets-exchange.com. So yeah. Lastly, before we hop into our topic for the day, I told y'all that we had a pop-in series coming, and it is still coming. It is just delayed. Um, Once we finish the production of the series, I can't wait to tell you guys all of the stuff that went wrong trying to get this series completed, but it's not complete. And I don't want to give you guys a half done job. See, I was getting ready to cuss right there because I was going to say a half ASS job, but I ain't going to do it. I don't want to give y'all a half done job. I want you guys to have the best content that you can possibly have. So I'm not going to give it to y'all until it's right. So it's coming and it's coming and it's coming. I would say it's coming soon, but your definition of soon and my definition of soon might not be the same. So I'm gonna just say it's coming and it's on the way, and I promise. In the meantime, it's Halloween week. Halloween is quickly approaching, and in the spirit of Halloween and spookiness and fun, I wanted to hear some dating horror stories. And so I asked some of our exchangers and some people that I know to submit their dating stories. I'll also tell you guys a couple of mine. And y'all, it's bad out here. I know sometimes people who are not single be like, the dating pool can't be that bad. It is, baby. It is. It's hot ghetto garbage out here. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'm actually going to start with one of my most recent stories. Um, I shared this with a few friends, and I only shared it with a few friends because I knew I was going to use it for singles exchange at some point. I just didn't know when. So I feel like here's the time. If you got the screenshots and you saw these messages, just act like you didn't. And for the rest of y'all, enjoy. So here is my one of my dating horror stories for 2021. And it's actually happened about a month ago. So in September, this guy added me on Facebook, and we didn't have any, well, I think we had one mutual friend or something like that. And he was a nice looking guy, so I just added him and kept on moving. It was the middle of the day. He instantly messaged me like, "Hello, beautiful," and I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Pleasant conversation. So my first red flag, because we've been talking about red flags on the internet lately. Um, we were messaging back and forth, just some very basic, "How are you today? How's your day going?" And again, this was in the middle of the day. You guys know I work at an elementary school, things can pop off quickly. So something happened and I put my phone down. When I came back, I had like 5 messages from him. He was like, "Hello. Oh, you just forgot about me, huh?" And then a bunch of question marks and stuff. And I'm like, "Bro, what's wrong?" And he was like, "You stopped answering." I'm like, "It's the middle of the day, sweetheart. I'm at work." So I'm still trying to keep the conversation light. So I said, "Oh, how did you find my page?" And he was like, "Oh, you came up in my people you may know." And I definitely love me a thick woman. And I was like, "Oh, shoot, here we go. LOL, dot, dot, dot." He was like, "I do." And I was like, "I see." So he says, "I love cellulite, stretch marks, a gut, a wide ASS, because I'm not going to say the word. But he was like, "I love a cellulite, stretch marks, a gut, a wide butt, big arms, and legs." And I was like, thanks. And he was like, "You got all that?" Now, at that point, I was like, "Sir, you're doing too much." So I responded, I was like, "How about you get to know my likes and my dislikes first?" Do y'all know that man blocked me? Like, instantly blocked me. So I was like, "Dang, I'm just out here trying to get to know you and help you get to know me, and you play me." So yeah, that was my dating horror story. I'm gonna read some of these. I'm gonna tell y'all now the ones that people have submitted. Craziness, okay? Craziness. I promised that I would keep their identities confidential. So I won't tell you too much about these people. And y'all know I got my little sticky notes and all of that. So bear with me if you hear paper crinkling. I'm just trying to keep these people's identity as confidential as possible. I said I was gonna stop popping. That's the sidebar. I said I was gonna stop doing that thing that black girls do. Because my best friend said she was gonna pop me in my lips if I did it again. So Bestie, if you're listening, I'm sorry. It wasn't even intentional. I did it without thinking. Anyway, um, okay, so this one person submitted this story, and she is a female. That's all I will say. Um, and she says, "I have plenty, but this one is probably the biggest. I was dating a guy for about 4 months before he ended up going to jail for violating his parole." Red flag. Like an idiot, I stayed and became his ride or die for the next 8 months until his release. And like an even bigger idiot, I let him stay with me for a little while. He lived with me and my college roommates for less than 6 months before he stole a full semester's tuition from my foreign exchange roommate and skipped town on my dime. Anyway, I ended up at a police station and facing possible expulsion from school. The charges were dropped because they couldn't prove anything, but it doesn't make it any less dumb. Whoa, sis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And that's a sad reality. I'll tell you guys, in the early stages of dating, I am very skeptical about letting a man into my house because it's my house. Like, I may have my checkbook laying around or like my laptop or my Pandora that got stolen. Like I may have that stuff laying around, so I don't want it to get stolen. Y'all, my Pandora got stolen the day of the murder mystery dinner, and I'm still sad about it. Okay, I'm I'm gonna be okay, but I'm still sad right now. So y'all pray my stress. Um, so this was another one from a young lady. She said, she was on a date and a dude forgot his wallet. Y'all know what that means. So she was like, let me go to the bathroom. And she never went back in. She said she honestly should have left earlier when he pronounced salmon as salmon and asparagus as asparagus. Now, listen, I read these before, but reading them again makes them funnier. So, yeah, I might flip back to her. She submitted a few. So, I'm going to come back to her page. Again, no names. I'm gonna give you guys this one. It's kind of long. It's a story time, but yeah. So again, this one is from a young lady. And before I get into her story, let me tell y'all something. I asked the same amount of guys that I asked girls, and the guys either didn't have a lot of dating horror stories to share, or theirs were a lot less. I have one horror story from a guy, and it really wasn't that bad to me, but whatever. I may do a part two, where we talk about the guy horror stories because maybe after hearing this, they'll be more inclined to share. So, anyway, story time from our mysterious dater. She says, sometime last year, I matched with a guy on Facebook dating. Per usual, it starts with a few getting to know you questions. However, right out the gate, dude is basically asking, do you want to go out with me? As if we already have some kind of foundation established. I breezed over it. As the conversation proceeds, he indicates that he's not looking for friends. Okay, cool. Thank you for your honesty. But I then indicated that I'm not looking to just be a long term girlfriend. I'm dating with intent to marry. And for me, friendship is something I believe contributes to a strong foundation of a relationship, which is true. This man replies, but I want you. Can I be your man? Stale face. Okay, then. No. Quite naturally, my response was, but I don't know you. And of course, that doesn't bother him at all. Keep in mind, while this conversation is going on, I'm at work. We start conversing. We started conversing earlier that morning, but there came a point in the day where I actually had some work to do. His response to that is, you write late. I further explained that I was working. My apologies. He didn't respond until the next day. I wasn't mad about it though. However, he starts out the conversation this day with kiss question mark. My response is, do you believe in getting to know a woman first? He says he does, but I told him, well, that's alarming for me. Not to mention, he never fully acknowledged my answer to his own question from the day before. And we're going to go to part two. Apparently, he gets a little light, a little tight at this point because he basically indicates that I responded too slow for him, even after informing him that when I'm at work, I put my phone down when I have work to do. Some hours passed. I wasn't able to get back to him until my workday was over, plus a few other errands. He mentions again how I responded late. At this point, I'm not a fan of the direction we're going. I apologized and said it wasn't intentional. He apparently doesn't believe it. Wow. He basically says my late responses bother him. We get past it, and I then ask what he's hoping for as far as dating. His response, I'm trying to be your boyfriend. Stale face again. I'm trying to see something at this point, so I ask, and how do you plan to achieve that? He says, you tell me. I'm like, why can't we get to know each other first? He's still mad because he feels not only do I respond late, but he felt like I was trying to have a conversation on my terms and he wasn't going for that. I assured him that was not my intentions. His response is, I want to see you. This happened in 2 days. And then there was a screenshot, but I can't share that because confidential information. Um, and the conversation just went left. He didn't want friendship. Now, this is me paraphrasing, but dude ain't want friendship. He wanted me to be on my phone all day just to text him. And he clearly had no boundaries whatsoever because he was on some sneaky link type stuff. Okay, so let me tell y'all something because as a woman who works a full-time job, who does singles exchange full-time as well, I have friends, I have family, I have God kids, I do a lot at my church. I need alone time, I need time with God, I need time to rest. My schedule can be busy. And this goes for women and men because I'm sure that men go through this too. If you are in the process of getting to know somebody and or if you are dating somebody, I am not saying that you should let them treat you like a second hand option. I'm not saying let them put you on the shelf and pick you back up whenever they want. What I am saying is we are adults with full lives. I had a full life before I met you, sweetheart. I cannot give you all 24 hours of my day. What's wrong with y'all? I don't like it. Like, I don't know. Let me not say I don't know because that would be a lie. When I was a teenager, I was very much the person who wanted to be on the phone all day, every day with my boo. I'm sure I ran my parents' phone bill up sky high, house phone and cell phone, because I wanted to talk. The very first guy that I ever thought I was in love with, I'll hop into that story another time. But the very first guy that I ever thought I was in love with, I vividly remember talking to him on because I had a wireless phone upstairs or a cordless phone upstairs. So I was talking to him upstairs on the cordless phone. When that phone would get low, I would put it on a charger. I would go downstairs, get the other one off the base, talk to him on that phone. So that phone got low. When that phone got low, I would put it on the base. I would go to we had like a little office computer room type place, and I would get on that phone, which was not cordless. But I was talking on that phone either until the other phones charged up or until 9 o'clock hit where I could do that free nights and weekends because y'all know how it used to be at 9 o'clock. And we would just start that whole process over. Like when I tell y'all I was that chick back in the day, I can't do it now. I could do that back then because I was a teenager. I had a lot of energy. I didn't get tired. I didn't have a job. Baby, this ain't gonna work for me. I need some time and some space. So I went on that rant to say that if you're dating somebody or interested in somebody, do not require 100% of their time. It's not fair. And it's probably not going to be very favorable. It's not going to get you far. So just let that be what it's going to be. I'm going to move on to our next mysterious dater. She says, horror dating story. I met this guy online. We went on a few dates and everything was going good until one day his wife texted me from his cell phone. She said, hello, Barbara. This is Shirley. But you know what I mean. Married with children for a few years. Let me tell y'all something. I actually had this happen to me. I'm going to give y'all a little bit more of my tea. I had this happen to me in college. There was a guy that I was talking to in college, and he was older, and he came to visit me. He was from Chicago, so he came down to visit me because my school was not in Chicago. And on his way back, he was like doing something with his paperwork, like his train. He took the train down because by that time I had a car and all of that. So he took the train down, and somehow I saw the receipt from when he paid for his train ticket, and the credit card name was a woman's name. And I was like, who is this? And he tried to blow it off. No, who is this woman? Oh, that's my ex-wife. I'm sorry, you're what? Because you didn't tell me you had an ex-wife. And he was like, well, it's kind of complicated. She's like, we're not together, but we're not legally divorced yet. Oh, so you're still married and you using her credit card to come and see me? I don't like that. I know that some people are okay with that. And if that's your thing, that's your business, that's between you and that woman. It's a no for me, big dog. I don't like it. I went off on that man and I sent him back to Chicago. And that was the end of our relationship. You done lost your marbles. So it's a no. If you married, be married. Like go do married things with the person that you married to, or else don't be married anymore. Be single and go and do what you do. Like it's the math is not mathing for me. What's wrong with y'all? Oh, okay. Next story from one of our mysterious daters. Of course, it's a girl. She says, okay, so I met this guy on Tinder. First mistake. We talked for a little bit and he seems cool. So I asked if he wanted to meet up. No, he asked if she wanted to meet up. And she's like a date? He said, yeah. She was like, okay, cool. He then proceeds to ask her whose crib we meeting at. First red flag. So she was like, I don't know you like that. We need to meet in a public location. So the day finally arrives and she gets there and he's late. Strike one. Or maybe that's strike two because the first red flag was him asking, whatever. She said it was strike one. So he finally gets there. They go inside and get seated at the table. The waitress comes up and the man starts flirting with the waitress in front of her face, in front of our mysterious dater's face. Now, our mysterious dater goes on to say, like, the girl was cute. She was a pretty girl, but you're not going to flirt while I'm sitting right here. She says at that point in her mind, she's like, never again. We'll never go out again. She says he then starts being social with everybody in the place because it was like a bar. He goes and photo bombs a picture with some girl and her friend and continues to flirt with the waitress. So our mysterious dater is like, I'm ready to go. They leave out and it's like a really light drizzle, barely anything falling from the sky, but just a little tiny bit of rain. Um, so which he says, you gonna make me drive all the way home in the rain? She was like, heck yeah. Yes, I am. Good night. And he replies, well, can I at least get a kiss? And she said no and got in her car and drove off. So I'm not mad at that. That probably would have been my response. But like, I want to know, once you listen to this, y'all can comment on one of the posts about this podcast episode, or y'all can just inbox Singles Exchange. Tell me, how do y'all feel about this one? How do y'all feel about the guy who was out flirting with other women in her face? Do y'all think she was right? Do y'all think that he was right? Like, is there a right or wrong in this? Because, like, on the one hand, I personally think it's rude. But also we both single. And my thing is, had she done the same, would he have been okay with it? Like if she started flirting with, if it was a male waiter and the guy was attractive and she started flirting, would he have been okay with that? You know? Um, but yeah, that's a big, gigantic red flag for me. Let me see. I don't think I have too many more. But okay, this is a good one. So this one was submitted today. This was a last minute submission from one of our female exchangers. She said that there was a guy that she was interested in and he was interested in her. And, you know, things were going well. And it was one particular day that she was moving. And she was like, well, listen, I know you mentioned that you wanted to see me today. Today, I'm trying to get all my stuff moved. So if you want to see me, you can come help me move this stuff. He says, cool, right? So he comes over, no problem. He's helping her move the stuff. Things are going well. She said that they stopped, they took a little break. They sit down to talk, and she gets them like some snacks and something to drink, right? So we got snacks, a little lemonade. We chilling. We taking a break from moving this stuff. And now this is a her, not me, because yeah. Anyway, we chilling. We good. She said that at that point she looked up and she realized that her nail clippers were sitting on top of one of the boxes. No problem. Again, we snacking, we drinking our lemonade, we having a good time. She said that he picked up the toenail clippers and was like, can I use these? And she was like, yeah. He then proceeded to take his shoe off. He had no socks on, just shoe and foot. Um, Clipped his toenails mid snack and, folded the little clippers back up, put his shoes back on. It was like, thank you. And she said that she was sitting there so horrified, she didn't even really know what to say. And she says, like, right after that, he was like, oh, shoot, he got a call. And he was like, oh, shoot, I forgot there was something I was supposed to do. I need to go. And so she was like, okay. And he left and left his toenail clippings on the floor. Listen, I feel like if we talking, if first of all, before we get to if we talking, if feet are not your thing, then I get it. Like, I'm not bothered by feet, but some people really have like um a thing about feet, an aversion. They have an aversion to feet. And I get it. Because again, there are some things that I have aversions to. Feet are just not one of them. So like, I think people need to be cognizant of that, because that's a common thing for people to like not like feet. But also, it's not really sanitary for us to be sitting here eating our snacks and you clipping your toenails. Like, that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. And like, put your feet back in your shoes, because that's gross. And also, you're not gonna just clip your toenails and leave them here. Like, that gives me a little even more gross. Ew. Go throw your toenail clippings away. Don't be weird. Um, Sidebar, this is not about anything related to dating, but every time I think about toes, I think about my best friend. One of my best friends, her husband said that you're not really best friends if you've never interlocked toes. First of all, my toes are short and fat, so I don't get it. Like how you would interlock fingers with somebody. I'm not interlocking toes with nobody. Again, don't be weird. What the lady say? Why you being weird to me? I don't like it. Anyway, let me flip through my little package, y'all. See if I have any left. I honestly think I did them all. I might have one more. I'm gonna tell y'all, the guy, I told y'all, one guy submitted his horror story, and his horror story was really basic, but I'm not gonna judge him too much. He said that he took her to a fancy restaurant, and when they got there, she basically ordered chicken tenders and french fries, and he was mortified. Now, I understand, but I also don't think that's like the worst horror story. Like, I've heard worse. So when he sent it to me, I was like, come on, bruh, you tripping. But if that's your worst, that's your worst. Sir, consider yourself blessed, because it's hard out here for a pimp when he's trying to get this money for the rent. And also when they trying to date. Like, it's rough out here. The dating scene is hot garbage right now. Again, I say the dating scene is trash. If you are not single, be grateful, because it's not looking good over here for us. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I don't see any other ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast episode by saying thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I know We promised the series. I am so sad that it's not out yet. But again, I want it to be all that it could be. So it's coming. Y'all just got to bear with me. And I plan on working hard to get you guys some content in the near future. I do plan to finish out the year with our regular podcast fashion. I also have a little treat for you guys. I don't know if I told you guys before, but Singles Exchange has an intern for the fall. Um, and she will be doing her own podcast episode in December just for you guys. So it's a part of her class, but I think you guys are going to enjoy her topic. I've been working with her on it and it's going to be good. So, with that being said, like I said, go ahead and get your merchandise, get the single AF gear while it's available because when it's gone, it's gone. Other than that, I love y'all. I hope to talk to y'all soon. And as always, let's exchange.